Thursday night. Where we at, Rob?
Means we're Louie's
Grill and Bar.
Yep.
We're at.
You're right here in Norman, America, God's country.
Where else?
Campus corner of the shadow of the stadium.
And you got Terry and Rob here. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
And we have the lovely Teresa, who's normally behind the camera. Still am. She's behind the camera, but somebody didn't charge the camera, so we're winging it tonight with the webcam. So, if you know, I think it's going to be pretty good quality. It doesn't look bad.
Good.
So,
I'm so pretty. I mean.
Oh yeah. Now, before we get started, we need to go subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure and listen to our podcast.
Follow us on all the social media platforms that you can find us on.
Yep. But on Twitter and on YouTube, we need everybody's comment on this.
Don't touch my face, ever. That was weird. That was weird. Not gonna lie.
If you guys haven't noticed, Rob dropped about 15 pounds in a day, right?
I cut a small poodle off my face.
So we want to know what you think. Should Rob keep the, what's his name? George Michael 5 o'clock shadow?
Oh boy.
Or should he go back with the Harley Rider man beard? Is that what you want to call it?
Sure.
So, but we want your comments. Everybody comment on what they think of the new cleaner Rob Mixon. But
I mean, ugly's ugly. Don't matter.
yeah,
It don't matter if it's long or if it's short.
So first off, remember that
We are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
but we do have eligibility left. So what we have things. Thank you, honey. Teresa reminded us to say that we have several things coming up. QB1.
We're gonna get like a lawsuit or something if we don't say that.
That's why we say it.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's on everything, just in case people go. But remember what's coming up in August, Rob?
I do. Netflix original series QB1.
We will be on one of the episodes because we've already signed the rights off to use our images and names. So we don't know which one. As soon as we find out, we will let everybody know. So
We will definitely put that out there so
watch
everyone
that
can
episode.
take a look at that.
Yeah. And also remember to come to Louie's anytime. They got great drinks, great food. They're having a whole bunch of specials going on right now. The triple play. They got a whole bunch of beers on tap. Teresa tried the watermelon limonada, and she says it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob is, as always, is drinking their nice cold Ozarka water.
I'm gonna squeeze some lemon in it later, though.
he's living on the edge. But and also remember, we're going to be in California for the UCLA game.
Tickets are already purchased.
Flights.
I'm gonna hold up. At Scotty, LA Sooner 5-0.
Yep. Me and Teresa and my son David, who lives out in Palmdale, we have a lovely, and his wife, and my granddaughter. See, this is a problem sometimes when you have the wife.
Right.
But we have a lovely beach cabana. So we'll probably be hanging out on the beach. Don't you think, Rob? Probably might even do some.
Yeah, if we don't go run down there and try and find that chick, Julia Roberts. Yeah, we might go down there and see if she's on the corner.
She'll probably, once she finds out you're there, she'll probably come to find you.
Well, I'm already taken for her. What's that chick's name? Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock. Yep. I'm already spoken for. Sorry, Julia.
So, but the weekend of the UCLA game, you need to go check out tailgateconnect.com. Dan Donnelly, the Tailgate Ninja, as we call him.
Best job in the world, probably.
Yes, it is.
Or one of them. I mean, Lincoln Riley, somewhere in that area.
But I'm pretty sure that Dan's isn't as stressful as Lincoln's.
Probably right.
Doesn't have quite the responsibility.
Yeah, well, if Dan loses a game, Sooner Nation might not ride him out of town on a rail. Not that would happen to Lincoln, but you know how ugly it can get,
Yeah,
how
it can
quickly
get-
it can
yeah.
get. So
But www.tailgateconnect.com. Go to buy now. You can buy a ticket to the tailgate. It's $40.
and it's all day.
It's all day from 11 o'clock to 4. Or, yeah, because it's 7 o'clock here. Yeah. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff. So it's 11 o'clock to 4.
Beef tri-tips and all kinds.
Tri-tips.
I mean, if you're a vegan, there's probably like some grass or something around, some leaves. Or,
Well, you know, the parking lot is on a golf course. So,
there you go.
But
Something for everybody.
he's Tailgate Connect and Dan are doing the Sooner tailgate at the UCLA game. Tickets for $40. All you can eat and drink all day long, all inclusive. And we're probably going to start a pool of whether or not we have to carry Dan into the stadium or he can walk in on his own.
I'm not carrying nobody.
I ain't either.
I have enough trouble just carrying my own self.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's all the publicity stuff or whatever. But man, they put on
Right?
the rap tonight. So, as you know, we've been going through the Big 12 conference. We are 8 weeks away from kickoff, Rob.
8 weeks away.
So, we're covering
Might
you
be
know,
10.
the Big 12 for 12 weeks, for 10 weeks. So, who came in at 10 or 12, 11, and 10, Rob?
12, 11, 10. Let's see, Kansas came in at number 12 and number 10. And Kansas State came in at number 11 and number 9.
9, yeah. So, we got the two Kansas teams, you know, sludging at the bottom
Yeah.
of the Big 12.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
But tonight's team is going to battle them for
Yeah.
for the basement of the Big 12, I think.
So we had a discussion today trying to figure out who we wanted to cover with this. Both of us were pretty well. I was tied up at work. Somebody was sunbathing at the pool, but really didn't get a whole lot of research in and numbers and stuff. But we did come to a consensus number 8.
But we did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
We
Not together. Definitely not together.
So, Rob, who's number 8?
Well, it was tough because there are 4 teams that are really trying to climb into that basement spot with the Kansas teams. But my number 8 is Oklahoma State.
And my number 8 is Oklahoma State. Why do we think Oklahoma State will suck again this year?
Well, new starter at quarterback. Although I hear he's pretty good, but the surrounding staff I don't think is as good as it was last year, and they came in second to last year. So with their supporting staff not being quite as good,
Right.
I just feel like they're going to struggle.
Well, here's a funny thing. First off, I went to Google some stuff today on Oklahoma State right here in on my phone when I got here to Louie's on Campus Corner. When I start typing in Oklahoma State, you know what the first thing comes up on my Google is?
No.
Oklahoma State flower.
Okay.
Then it's Oklahoma State baseball.
What is the flower, by the way?
It's the Indian paintbrush.
Oh, okay.
Then it's Oklahoma State baseball, Oklahoma State basketball, Oklahoma State wrestling, Oklahoma State softball, then Oklahoma State football.
You know what though? They've got like 112 golfers in the on the PGA Tour right now or something. It's
The only
ridiculous.
way that would be impressive is if it was full contact golf.
Well, none of them are winning actually, but they still got them.
Yeah, but last year Oklahoma State ended up 7-6. They were ranked 57th in the nation, or had the 57th best record, and they were an awesome 3-6 in the Big 12.
So, do you think they've made any changes or any additions that's going to make them better than they were last year?
No, because they had a terrible recruiting class. It's almost like Mike Gundy. Mike Gundy is kind of like trying to put it on cruise control. Did you see the stuff after, we can't get the number 1 guys and the number, the 4-star and the 5-star. So we kind of got to wait until everything is, and do the mop up. You know, the biggest problem is what they're recruiting is, number one, nobody wants to wear orange.
Well, yeah.
Number two, nobody wants to play in a football stadium
That runs east and west.
that runs east and west.
They want to go pew 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 though.
Nobody wants, people running around going pew pew pew. They don't want to play on a team that has a mascot that looks like a cowboy Popeye. There's a lot of reasons why people don't want to go to Oklahoma State. I haven't found one positive about going to Oklahoma State.
There's got to be one. We'll keep searching
Yeah,
for
we'll
you.
keep searching. If you want to be a veterinarian,
Oh yeah, they got a good veterinarian.
or if you want to grow tomatoes for a living, they have a great agricultural school. But what other reasons are there to go? It's definitely not to play football.
Yeah, maybe if you're a wrestler,
Wrestler, yeah. They got a good wrestling program.
which less than half the country is still wrestling, so it won't be long before there are no more.
But
Wrestling is not a sport.
There is nothing that I can find that would tell me that Oklahoma State is going to have an improvement from last year to this year.
Well, so I don't know a lot about him, but apparently the quarterback they got is fairly highly recruited.
Right.
But I mean, if he's running for his life, we've seen that with Sam Bradford. Not here,
Yeah.
but when Sam Bradford was in the pros, I think Sam Bradford had the potential to be an all-time, Hall of Fame quarterback. But he never played Terry somewhere where they protected him.
Right.
And
he never had a running game either.
So my point is, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. If you can't protect him, he's not going to do well.
Right.
I mean, he's just not.
And their defense got lit up several times last year.
Yeah.
And there's no indication that Oklahoma State has done anything to improve.
Did you look at their schedule? What's their non-Big 12 schedule look like?
Their non-con.
Non-con?
Let me see. I'll have to Google it up. It won't take as long as Rob.
That's for sure. It's
But
like Middle Tennessee State for girls and
let me see.
Connecticut Tech.
2019.
Connecticut Tech. I like that one.
See, okay, here we go. I got it again. I got Oklahoma State, and it pulled up every sport except football on my Google on my phone. 2019 schedule. They play Oregon State.
Oh,
They play the Beavers.
all right. Another orange and black team.
Yeah. Then they play McNeese State,
Okay.
and then they play the Golden Hurricane.
Tulsa.
Yeah. Which again, that's a dumb name for a team from Tulsa.
Yeah, but I mean, I got respect for them for stepping up and playing Oregon State. I mean, Oregon State's not a good football team.
Yeah.
But they're about the same as Oklahoma State, really.
Yeah. They're the little brother to Oregon.
But it's not another McNeese State,
Yeah.
which is McNeese still a D2 school, or what do we call it now?
FCS.
FCS.
Football Championship
Right.
Series.
Are they still that, or I don't know where they at? McNeese State.
No, they're a Division I now.
Okay.
They're
All
an
right.
FBS school.
All right. Cool.
And then they got Texas, their fourth game. Kansas State,
Loss.
Yeah,
No.
Texas is a loss. Well, but they beat Texas this year.
Well,
Who do you root for in the Oklahoma State?
they're
Texas
not going
game?
to beat them this year.
Who do you root for in that
Well,
game?
if they could both lose, that's what I would. And then if he hands it off to the running back, then I start tackling that guy.
So, people have asked me that if you hate Oklahoma and Texas so much, who do you root for in that game? I don't.
Ugh,
I don't root for anybody.
No.
I could care less who wins it.
I don't.
The only time I root for one of them is if one of them's lost will benefit the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
But rarely is that an
Rarely.
issue. So,
And now this year it will have some effect on us because Texas is going to be ranked in the top 20 this year.
Yeah.
And what are they, somewhere around middle teens?
Who, Texas?
Yeah.
No, they're in the top 10.
They are?
Yeah.
Well, we're back. Hello. So they're in the top 10. So yeah, we need Texas to win that game.
Yeah.
So that when we play them the very next week, right?
I believe so.
They're still in the top 10.
It's still a couple weeks away. But
Oh,
then Oklahoma State has Kansas State. That's a win or a tie. Then they got Texas Tech. That's a win or a tie. Baylor.
That's the Pew Pew schools.
That's the Pew Pew, the Battle of the Pew Pews. Then we got Baylor, loss. Iowa State, loss. TCU, loss. Kansas, win or a loss or a tie. West Virginia.
Where's it at?
At West Virginia.
That's a loss.
Yeah, that's a loss. And then Oklahoma that's an ass kicking.
Doesn't matter where that's
Yeah,
at.
you know they could play that at Noble High School,
Right.
You know
Doesn't matter.
that's yeah. So basically, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about, it, they may be
Worse than Kansas State?
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
You know,
You know what? They're that team though. They tend to pull out a win that they should not get.
Yeah.
Like at Texas.
Like Texas last year.
Yeah. So you never know.
Yeah. But I'm comfortable with saying there'll be at least 8.
Yeah, eight's a pretty good number for them, depending on what I think Texas Tech will still have an offense that will generate some points. So I think if I was going to be fighting with that, them or Texas Tech, I would choose Oklahoma State just because I don't think they'll put up as many points as Tech will.
Yeah.
But neither one of them are going to play any defense.
No.
So
Anyway, so
of course we're not really at liberty to talk about defense. Just saying.
So to wrap up, we got number 12/10 is Kansas. 11/8, no 11/9 is Kansas State,
Kansas State.
and then at 10/8 is Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's getting really confusing now. We should probably just start with 10, 9, and 8.
Yeah. So now we're going to be looking at number 7 for next week. And there's a lot. We're getting into the meat. The middle of the Big 12 is where pushing stuff around.
Yeah,
is
a lot of them could flip flop.
Yeah, a lot of them can flip flop. So because we got West Virginia new coach, Texas Tech new coach.
You know what? I know we're not even talking about them yet, but West Virginia, even though they got a new coach, they still have a nucleus of talent there. I mean, they lost the quarterback, but the kid they came from Oklahoma is there, and I think he's going to work out pretty well.
Yeah, he'll be. The only thing is he going to have anything to throw it to?
Right. That's the question. Is he going to have any talent around
Austin
him?
Kendall.
Austin
You
Kendall.
don't want to forget his name.
Right.
So, even though
Even though he left us. Well, I mean, he'd probably be third string again. Wouldn't he be third string?
yeah, because Spencer would probably move
Maybe
up.
fourth string because of.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I mean, I'm not hating on him because he transferred.
Yeah,
I want to play too.
Yeah, and and just a lot of times with that situation, when you're, I mean, he was second string 2 years in a row to the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's kind of unfair. I go to a school and it's like, really, you got back-to-back Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks? That's not fair.
I mean, if you're sitting behind Garrick McGee or Rhett Bomar, that's one thing. But I mean, literally, he's behind Baker and then he's behind Kyler.
Garrick McGee.
You remember Garrick McGee?
Yes,
right?
I remember Garrick McGee. How you had to go and dig into the cesspool of Oklahoma quarterbacks
You remember when Garrick McGee ran into the wall at
Oklahoma State?
and knocked himself out? Oh man, didn't we lose that game or did we win that? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But he was knocked out cold, wasn't he?
That was the dark days of Sooner football.
Definitely was.
The dark ages of Sooner football.
Anyway,
Yeah. So, but again, make sure here on YouTube, and I'm gonna put stuff on Twitter. Comment. Put your comments on Rob and the 5 o'clock shadow.
or if you don't really care, I mean, that's okay too.
Oh no. Put comments. Have your wives look at it. Tell them what.
Oh, don't do that. You might lose her. No.
But that's it, guys, from Louie's on Campus Corner. Appreciate you watching. Boomer up.
Boomer Terry.